All right. This is so exciting. This is the first, I know my hair is a hot mess. This is the first live of 2026. You guys get so excited, not about this hair, but about what we're about to talk about today. This is going to distract me if I don't look in the mirror and fix this. So, let me just all right. Welcome everyone. Welcome mirror members. I'm so excited that you're here and we're going to be talking about something really important today because food anxiety is one of those things where you could have the perfect meal plan. You could have the perfect workout plan, right? You could have the perfect water cup that just like sparks you so much joy. You could have the treadmill, you can have the walking pad, you could have the vibration plate, the red light mask, you can have all the stuff. But if your mind is distracting you 24/7, how are you supposed to make that make that implemented? You can't. You literally can't. And so what I have come up with, and if you ever see me looking down, handwrite my notes and that's what I'm reading from so that I don't miss anything. When we are embarking on a weight loss journey, we've got to attack the mindset stuff. We have to, because like I said, you could have the perfect thing mapped out for you and it's not going to work if it's not okay up here. And a perfect example of this is Oprah. How many years, now it's different. She's got Ozempic, she's got her stuff, she's got everything under control. But how many years did she struggle as a billionaire trying to lose weight? She had the private chef, she had the personal trainers, she had the people on her team who were like, don't eat the brownie at 2 p.m. Like they're with her. Like she physically had everything and she couldn't get there because of food anxieties, because of the things that were going on in her head, which we're going to outline today. So, what we're going to be talking about today, food chatter, food noise, all of the things that encompass food anxiety. And if anybody's got food anxiety things that I'm not mentioning, comment them here, comment them down below. You can use the chat feature the whole time. Every time I do a live stream, I want you to be involved. So, chat, feedback, questions, all of it. You are 100% part of this training. If you're not here live, totally fine. Comment down below and we can always expand on it in the comments, or I can do a follow-up live stream because my plan is to do weekly live streams because I've got a lot to say and a lot to teach and a lot of things so that you can have something to listen to. I'm going to try to do Fridays. Why I like Fridays, just on a little side note, is because then you have it. If you're able to join live, great. If not, you have the whole weekend to listen to something. You've got something to kind of gear you up for Monday morning and get you ready. We've got so many good topics. Another one that I wanted to do next week is about self sabotage. These are all going to be things that are so prevalent in your journey and how to fix them. So, again, I want feedback from everyone. I'm coming up with the first couple of them, but then I really want to branch off into what you need, what you want to see. And not only that, what you need, what is going to help you best. So the more I can get to know you, the more you can help me with knowing your struggles, the more I can make content that is specific for you. This is a community here. This is my coaching mentorship for 2026. And if you can't, like, I can't even convey to you like how excited I am. This one hair is super excited too. And I don't know how to get it back here. It's like a baby hair that's growing in. But anyway, so let's dive in. My hair is going to distract me. I know it. But let's dive in. And again, comment, live chat, comment down below anything as I'm talking. Just let it rip because then I can create follow up content as well. Oh, I did write on the back of that. Okay, so let's talk about different types of ways food anxiety can show up for you in your life. Oh my God, you guys, what is happening? I'm going to put it in a clip. Curly hair problems, right? And then I have those cute pieces. Okay. That's better for right now. Let's just go with it. Food chatter and food noise. If you have ever experienced this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And let me just describe it. So, if you're finding that there's always food thoughts running through your brain 24/7, you can't stop thinking about it. An example I gave on Instagram the other day was like, if I've got like a cake, and this stems from childhood. If I knew, and let's go back there. If I knew my mom made a cake, she would do this a lot. She would make a cake and she would have it like a little cute cake dish and it would be sitting on the dining room table. As a child, If I knew that was there, I was taking the knife and I was like cutting a sliver, eating it, and like going away, coming back to it a couple minutes later, like creeping around the corner and being like, it's still there, creeping, taking a bite, still getting over being sick too. But when that would happen, it would be like if I knew that cake was there, it was constantly in my head. Go get another slice, go get another slice, little sliver, little sliver, little sliver, till it's gone. And obviously, when I was a child, I wasn't throwing this cake away, which is something I will do now as an adult if I need to. And when I would have this food cheddar. But a lot of the times back then, it was like until it was gone, that noise didn't stop. And that was for everything in the pantry. That was for anything that was like enticing to me. Anything that was like an off limits type of thing, like a sweet or like a Hostess peanut butter candy cake. That was like the thorn in my side. As an adult, that turned into if we had any kind of baked goods in the house, immediately my brain, go have some, go have some, go have some. Even though, and this is where the food anxiety part comes in too. Even though I wasn't hungry, even though I may have just eaten lunch, even though I was still in my fasting mode or supposed to be, even though I had just eaten a big dinner, it didn't matter. All that mattered was go get some, go get some, go get some. It was like a replay in my head, right? Until it was gone. And then when it was gone, it would quiet. But then most times what would happen is something else would take its place. So it would be something in the pantry, you know? And if you've got kids, I mean, I try, but the pantry is full of snacks, full of snacks. So how do you get to the point where that goes to what's normal? What's normal? What's normal is no matter what's in the house, you're good. No matter what's in the house, you ate your food, you're done, you're satisfied. As me sitting here right now, it is 1:30-ish and I had my lunch around 12:30 and I'm good. My pantry is full of crap. Let me just tell you right now, it is. And that's it. That's it. I don't care. It doesn't matter that it's there because I'm not hungry. And a lot of that is from me planning my meals, planning my water, making sure that this thing is like glued to me and that I'm drinking from it. I've already had two of these today. So these are 30. This is the 30-ounce Stanley. I've already had two of these. It's 130. So I'm at 60 ounces. That's perfect. And when you're hydrated and when you're eating protein, you're not wanting to snack. But you could be filled up with 100 grams of protein and you're still starving and you're still thinking about that cake if it's in there, if you've got the food chatter. So what we're trying to do now is eliminate the psychological stuff going on so that you can stick to your plan effortlessly. And that's where my term effortless weight loss comes from. The mindset work and the actions combined, but the actions get so much freaking easier when you tackle the mindset first. And that's where this whole mentorship is like, we're changing lives here. So, food chatter and food noise, that's one. What's another thing? This can come over anxiety around anything to do with food, literally anything. I'm just going to make the screen a little bit bigger for myself. For you. Anything to do around food anxiety with meal planning, events, going out to dinner, going to a party, going to someone's house that you don't know what they're cooking, going to the barbecue, going to the tailgate, going to these events, you know? And it's like if you get anxiety around food, around these things, that's also food anxiety. And we've got to tackle that. So, what's the normal part about that? This is life. You're going to leave the house. You're going to go to a barbecue. You're going to go to a birthday party. You're going to go to a sporting event. You're going to go to a place where you are not physically making the food. And you're going to be going to places where other people are preparing the food and you don't have control over the menu. At least if you go to a restaurant, you can look at it ahead of time and be like, okay, this fits into what I'm trying to do, whatever diet plan you're following. But there's going to be situations where they're all over the place. And what's normal life? Normal life is this is life, and I can ebb and flow, and I can just bend, and I can do what I need to do, and I can always figure it out. But you don't feel that ease when you've got food anxiety. Food anxiety is going to make you spiral. It's going to make you go, oh my God, what are they going to have at this barbecue? How am I going to stay on track? What if this? What if that? I'm going to this restaurant. What if I get tempted? What if people order appetizers for the table and I really want some and I'm just thinking about the staring at the mozzarella sticks the whole time and I can't even enjoy, I can't even be present. We've got to take you out of that. We've got to put you back in the driver's seat of your weight loss journey. That is getting rid of the food anxiety and getting back into just going with the flow and knowing that you're going to make great choices and you're going to get to your goal weight and you're going to reach your ultimate healthiest best self, and it's going to be easy. It's going to be effortless. But again, you've got to get rid of the anxiety around it because that's what's going to hold you back every time. And also, too, I just want to throw this in there. This just came through to me. Anxiety is such a buzzword anymore. It's thrown around all over the place. It's almost lost its punch. It's lost its severity. It's lost its, how powerful and how detrimental it can be to our life because it's so overused. Oh, I've got anxiety over this or that. It's like, yeah, but it's actually a big deal. And just because it's overused, don't think that your anxiety isn't important and something that you should be healing. But also with that, it's also something you can totally overcome. I know it's also a buzzword, but it's also very normalized. Oh, I just have anxiety. No, don't settle for that answer. You can heal this. You can get out of this and you can be on the other side of it. I've seen countless clients that I've worked with do it and I've done it for myself. So I know it's possible. And the biggest thing is don't let this be a life sentence. Just because you've got food anxiety sitting here right now in this moment doesn't mean that you have to in a week, doesn't mean you have to in 3 days, doesn't mean you have to. And we're going to talk about all that really soon, which I'm so excited about. But the last one, and these are the three examples that I kind of came up with as being the most common. Like I said, if you've got other ones, drop them down in the comments. Food chatter, food noise, anxiety over events, meal planning, and all of that. Or the third one, let's chat about that for a second, binge eating before, during, and after. So before, you're in a place where you're just feeling so out of body, you need food to kind of help you regulate whatever that is, stress, comfort, you're happy and you want to celebrate, anything that's going to cause you to want to binge. And a lot of that is us feeling out of control with our outside circumstances. And a big part of that is taking back control over what I actually can control. I put up a graphic the other day about it was like a little head and it was like what I can control. And it was like my emotions, my thoughts, my words, my actions. And then outside of the head, it said what I basically can't control, what other people are doing, what's going on in the world, XYZ. You can probably get where I'm going with this. You have to bring it back to the reality of like, what can I actually control? And that's another thing we're going to be putting into the action steps today because you are in control. You're in control before, during, and after the binge. So that means you have to decide, okay, let me get back into my body and let me really refocus into what do I actually want to do? What is in alignment with me? And we'll talk about that in a second. But when you're about to binge eat, you're feeling very out of control and you are searching for control. Therefore, you're going to food to get that control, which is a false sense of safety, which is a false sense of control every single time. And during the binge, you're feeling like your stress levels are going down, but it's false. It's a false sense of safety. It's a false sense of de-stressing because immediately after it's over, what do? You numb out for a little bit while you're doing it and then it spikes. You're done. The shame, the resentment, the actual feeling in your body. How do you feel? I feel like garbage after you binge in your body, but then also in your mind. And it's like, why did I do that? I'm never going to be able to stop this. And then guess what? Whatever feeling evoked the binge, stress, whatever, is a little bit worse, sometimes a lot of it worse after the fact. So not only did you compound the problem, but now your body feels gross. You feel like you are a failure, shame, resentment, all of the things. So it's like this weird, it's like that dopamine hit during the numbing out, binging part, and then it very quickly spikes to a very negative low place. So what's normal with food? We're no longer using food to create safety. We're no longer using food to regulate our emotions. If we're angry, we're not then using food to make us feel happier. If we're sad, we're not using food to make us feel happier. We're using food for what it actually is supposed to do for us, which is nourish our bodies, keep us alive, keep us healthy. And the day and age that we live in, there's so much food available. There's so much food. There's so many options. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys, there's so many different ways we can nourish our bodies. And remember, you are in the driver's seat of your life. You're in the driver's seat of your food. You're in the driver's seat of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your drinks, your foods, all of the things. So we can't keep outsourcing. We've got to call ourselves back in and say, okay, what do I actually want to accomplish? What are my goals? And how am I going to take this food anxiety and take back control over it? And that's when I want to work with you guys to now let's put some action steps in place. Now that we kind of know what we're talking about, how can we dive in? And we're at just about 16 minutes. Ooh, 555. Perfect. So, this cough, I feel like it's never going to go away. Maybe someday. So, let's talk about action steps. I'm a firm believer in tapping. If you've never tapped before, you're about to start in this membership because tapping is going to change your life, point blank, period. Why? Because tapping is the internal work. You can have food anxiety and food chatter, and you can keep yourself busy. You can distract yourself. You can have a couple of good days. But if you're not attacking the root, and the root in this case is your nervous system, where your unsafe feelings live, if we're not healing that and attacking that and getting to the root, no matter what surface level things you're doing, they're just band-aids. So think of it this way. Everything we want to do is down here in the root, right? In our subconscious, in our nervous system. Tapping will get us there. Ignoring, distracting, having a couple of good days, and then binging again, that's all surface level band-aid stuff. That's like, let me just try to do better. And it's like, no, we know better now, especially in this day and age. We know that we need to actually do a modality, which is modality is another word for like a technique. We need to do a technique to actually reach our nervous system so that we heal these things. So when you do the nervous system regulation in tandem with the actions, that's how we get rid of food anxiety forever, forever. And that's why I love tapping so much because it can be done so quickly. So I don't know if you guys saw, but a couple of days ago, it's in there now. It's in the vault. The tapping for food anxiety. Do that. And you can do that anytime. I think I mentioned this in the video. I know I said it on Instagram, but you can tap whenever. You don't have to be perfectly calm and happy and whatever to tap. You can literally be tapping in the middle of a binge episode when your anxiety is through the roof and you're feeling so out of control and so just unworthy. Any of the feelings that come along with that. You don't have to be calm to tap. Tapping will bring you calm. Because even if you can recognize it in the moment, if you're having any of these food anxiety issues, if you in that moment can tap and do that food anxiety tapping, you're literally telling your nervous system mid crash out, we're not doing this anymore. I'm actually safe. I don't need food to cope. I don't need to be anxious about food. Chatter can just shut up. And instead, I'm actually safe because I exist. And that's what tapping does. It gets to the root of the issue so that we're not just putting band-aids on it, we're actually getting to the problem. That's why I love it so much. That's why I love it so much. So many tappings are coming. And again, if you've got any specific things about tapping, leave them in the comments. Questions. I've got a couple of videos on my channel just ready to view already about tapping. I've got a whole playlist. Click on that playlist. It's right on my homepage and you can see all of the tapping videos. But then on the memberships, we're going to be having tons of tappings this year. So it is so effective at reaching your nervous system. Let's go back to my notes here. Internal work is necessary to make the actions effortless. And that's why I am so hell-bent on mindset work with weight loss, because you can do all the action steps all day long. But if you can't seem to stick to what you're trying to do, like, why is this not working? Why is everybody else getting results and just sailing along and I'm not? It's because there's something in your nervous system, in your subconscious, in your mindset that needs to be worked on and healed. Is that to say that it's like this big daunting thing? No. This is just something you can tap on and you can release it. If you can get to a specific thing, great. If you can't, and you're just like, I've got food anxiety, I don't know where this came from, but I got to get out of it. Tapping will do that. It doesn't matter. Just start tapping and do it now. Do it now. Do it after this video and bookmark it so that you can do it as often as you need to. The more you can reinforce to your nervous system that you're safe right now because you are, the more or the less food anxiety you're going to have. And it's going to go down like this. And it doesn't come back. Once you rewire your nervous system, in order to create those blocks again, it takes heavy, heavy trauma because most of the time, a lot of the blocks that we've got around food and dieting, the scale, weight loss, all of it is established when we were very young. We didn't even know it was happening. So figure under the age of 10 most of the time. And then it was just reinforced from 10 to 25 in our actions. And then between 10 and 25, especially if you're close to my age, 10 and 25 was 1995 for me. I was 10. So back then, there wasn't YouTube. There wasn't even social media. There wasn't a place where they were reinforcing. So it was a lot of like whatever your circle was doing, whether that be friends at school, your parents, your close relatives, whatever they were doing, that's what was normalized to you. And back then, therapy and everything wasn't a big thing either in 1995, 2000, again, before internet. So what were we doing? We were just doing what we've always done because it's what we've always done. And so why would you wouldn't go back and you wouldn't back then challenge all of these mindset things. Like, why do I think weight loss should be a struggle? Because you're not just able to go on the internet and see all of these women succeeding at every single age under the sun for losing weight and getting healthy and what they're eating in a day, what they're doing, what they're thinking, what workouts they're doing. You know, you can do that at the click of a button now. Back then, that wasn't a thing. We weren't challenging our thoughts. So if you're sitting here and you're like, oh, I'm late to the game, you're not because we didn't have those tools back then, but you have them now. So it doesn't matter if you're 20 or if you're 99, you're getting to your goal weight this year. Done. But you are. It's happening because now you're going to be doing it differently. You're going to be combining the mindset stuff with the actions. And that's where it comes together and things actually work. It actually works. So tapping, definitely. And we'll talk about other modalities as the months go on. I don't want to overwhelm you with like 17 different ways that you can heal your nervous system. I think tapping is the most effective. So that's why we're starting there. And try it out. Try it out. And I guarantee you're going to love it. I mean, it's so fun. And actually, here's a trick too. If you've got essential oils or even your favorite perfume, you know, if you're not an essential oils person, put it on your wrists right before you start tapping. Because then when you're tapping, especially if you've got a calming one like lavender, eucalyptus. I love Peace and Calming by Young Living. It's called Zen from Revive, the companies. And I put that on my wrists or even Abundance from Young Living or Gratitude, it's called from Revive. Rub that here and then do your tapping. Oh my gosh. And then you have this like experience of essential oils calming your nervous system along with the tapping. Match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. So internal work. Let's talk about external work, your action steps. These are the things you're going to start doing. And the big word that I wrote down on my paper is we need to start embodiment. Embodiment is acting, being, becoming the version of you who doesn't have food anxiety anymore. It's like an avatar, but when you do the tapping along with the embodiment exercises, really, really quickly, you become her by default. You just do. It really doesn't take long at all. Embodiment can happen instantly, really, but it just takes a little tiny bit of practice, like such a small amount of practice for the biggest payoff of your life. So realize right now that there's multiple timelines of you available. I heard someone talk about this on their podcast this morning, and I wanted to kind of convey the message to you. And her name is, she's so funny. I don't know her actual name, but it's on her podcast is called Bitches Positive. She's so funny. Oh, I think it's Cece is her name. But anyway, she was talking about this and I was like, this is perfect for this lesson. So I want to give her credit, but also talk about it here. Timelines. There's multiple versions of you available right now. You get to decide what timeline you're going to be jumping into, right? And we switch timelines all the time. That's why this embodiment exercise is so powerful because at any point in time, you can choose to be a different version of yourself. Point blank, period. Literally. You can decide to be the girl who's going all in on their fitness journey. You can decide to be the girl who's going all in on their weight loss journey. You can decide to be the girl who's literally given up and I don't want to do this anymore and I'm just going to binge out. You could do that too. All of these options are available to you. And they're all happening simultaneously. So you get to decide which timeline am I jumping into? Am I jumping into this one, or this one? And if you look at your life that way, each and every decision that you make is putting you on a different timeline. So you might be here, and then you might be here, and then you might be here. You might be here. So that's why it's really important to decide who do I want to be and who do I want to become and what do I want to change about my life? What do I want to change? And if you didn't already, make sure you watch the January challenge video for 2026 because in there we talked all about leaning into like what am I letting go of this January? Not what resolutions am I adding to my plate? What do I want to accomplish? What am I letting go of? What am I releasing? That's a really good part of this too. Because again, what do I not want to do anymore? All of this food anxiety really is the answer, but that's a great thing to kind of look at your situation and say, what doesn't align for me? What do I not like? So let's explain the timeline thing a little bit more in depth because this is where it gets to be really fun. So you could wake up tomorrow. Let's say you want to get to your goal weight. Let's say that's your goal. And you could wake up tomorrow morning and you can literally DoorDash a chocolate cake, like a Matilda chocolate cake. You can. You can find it right now. Go online, DoorDash it, and you have this gigantic chocolate cake sitting in your kitchen, and you're like, I'm gonna eat this freaking cake. And you just go. Might be a binge episode, it might be just a craving, it might be who knows, you might be stress eating, it could be food chatter, food noise, I need to have cake. It could be any of these things, really. Depends how it resonates with you at the moment. Or you could wake up tomorrow morning, you could fill up your Stanley. You can fast until lunch and you could have a huge salad with grilled chicken and veggies and your favorite salad dressing. And you could be eating something that's totally on point with your goal weight self. And you could make then whatever choice you make. So let's say the cake is down here, the cake timeline is down here, and then the salad timeline is up here. And then it's like, okay, when you're on the salad timeline, then you're drinking your water, you're feeling really good, you're going to your 2 o'clock workout, you're stopping at the grocery store, grabbing some salmon, you're going to make a healthy dinner. You're on that timeline. Or maybe you're on the timeline where you're eating the cake and then you're like, I'm going to throw up. I feel so sick. You're on the couch like this. Oh my God, why did I do that? And then you skip your workout class, you cancel it, you lose money. Like, I don't care. I cannot go to that workout class. I'm going to throw up chocolate all over the floor. Then you skip your afternoon walk. You can't drink water. You physically cannot drink water because you're so full and bloated and blah from eating all the sugar. And then you pass out on the couch. You have a nap. You wake up at 6 p.m. You're all disoriented. There's drool on your face. And you're like, where the hell am I? What did I just do? And the day is ruined. See what I mean? How there's different timelines because of your choices, based on your choices. Could you eat the chocolate cake, stop halfway through and be like, no, I have a workout class at 2. Like I gotta, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And maybe even throw the cake away, give it to a neighbor. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, I'm going to that workout class. I'm forcing myself. And then you get back up on that timeline. See what I mean by you can switch timelines all day long by the choices that you make? But what do we want to do? We want to be on the timeline of the salad because we want to just, and it doesn't have to be a salad, that's just an example, but we want to be on the timeline of health because when we're on the timeline of health, what happens? We reach our goals because the more consistent you can stay, the faster your results are going to come. The faster your results are coming, the more consistent you stay. It's hand in hand, it's working. And then the more results you get because of your consistency and the results that you're getting leads to more consistency. So it's like this amazing spiral of well-being and goal completion. However, if we decide to stay on that lower timeline, you're going to keep getting the same crappy results that you get. However, when we're thinking about food anxiety, if we could ditch the food anxiety, then staying on that healthy timeline is so much easier because we're not constantly being tempted. We're not constantly hearing those voices in our head that are saying, go eat the cake or order the cake, if we don't even have it in the house. So make sure that we're spiraling in the right direction, really. And here's a really, really, really important reminder: you are in control. 1,000%, 1,000,000%. You are in control and you can switch your timeline at any point. So, like I said, you might make a not great decision, but you can bounce back and you can switch your timeline at any time. Say that to yourself throughout the day. What timeline am I on? Set a timer in your phone. What timeline am I on? And have it go off at like 1 p.m. Do a check in after lunch or before lunch or whatever time of the day makes sense for you and your schedule. What timeline am I on? Am I on the right one? Right one. Am I on the right one for me? Do I need to shift timelines? Do I need to change up my decisions? Did I just make a decision I don't like? It doesn't matter. Don't dwell on it. What timeline do I want to shift to now? And a lot of times if we make a decision that we don't like, shifting timelines is literally a matter of you deciding that you're doing it. It's a mindset thing. So, you are in control of everything you eat, everything you drink, everything you think, everything you speak, everything you believe, your thoughts, your beliefs, your belief system. So, just because you've done something for so long doesn't mean that you have to do it in the next hour or tomorrow or next week. You don't. And that's the greatest part about being a human. We have free will. We can do anything we want in this moment as far as changing and shifting our timelines. So don't ever think that because you've always binge ate that you're stuck there. That is not a life sentence. Like I said earlier, it's actually something that we can reverse. And it's something that can make you feel so accomplished and so, so, so good. So anytime you can switch timelines, and this is the key word that I love so much. At any time you can decide to change, decide to shift timelines, decide to choose something different, decide. That's the key word. In this moment, you're able to decide something completely different than you've ever done in your life. Your coworker's like, we're ordering from the pizzeria. You still want your pasta carbonara? You're like, no, I'm not getting that this time. Actually, get me a grilled chicken Caesar salad, dressing on the side. Thank you very much. Coworkers are like, what? You've never ordered anything besides pasta carbonara. I'm deciding differently. Thank you. How much do I owe ya? Done. Done, done, done. You don't have to continue doing things that you don't align with anymore. And that's why the January challenge is so thought provoking because it's like, what don't I want to keep doing anymore? And this is a great example. You can change it anytime. So you can switch timelines. You can decide. Don't let anything to do with mainstream media, mainstream anything, social media, actual media, the news, social media with what's popular. Don't let anything take away from your control around yourself and your body and your decisions and what you're deciding to do next because that keeps us stuck. When we think, oh, everybody's saying it's so hard to break out of binge eating. It's not. Everybody says it's so hard to get rid of food chatter. You have to go on Ozempic to get rid of food chatter and all this. You don't. You can. You can. I know that Ozempic has been proven to do that, and I love that for Ozempic. I've also seen people use that for alcohol as well, for that food or that drinking chatter, you might want to call it, and using Ozempic or tirzepatides or anything like that in order to reduce that food noise and that drinking noise. I love that. I think that's amazing. And I'm going to give my thoughts on Ozempic pretty soon. I don't know which video. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I am because I think that it's a hot take right now. So, but anyway, don't let things keep you stuck at all because it doesn't have to be that way. You can literally decide in this moment, it can change. And all of these things are figure outable. I love that. I love that so much, that word. It's like everything is figure outable. Nothing is a life sentence. So I don't want you to feel so heavy and so hopeless that just because you've had these issues, food anxiety or anything else we're going to be talking about this year, that is going to be contingent on you're going to keep sticking there. Like there's no way you could ever stop food anxiety. There is. You can. You can heal it, you can move on, and it can be in your rearview mirror, and it can be something that you never have to deal with again. I promise. I've seen it countless times. So let's make this our theme for this masterclass. We're not doing any more band-aids. We're not just band-aiding and saying, I'm going to do better tomorrow. No, we're actually going to start the modality of tapping, and we're going to start doing the action steps, which is the embodiment and the timelines, and asking ourselves throughout the day, where am I? What timeline am I on? What timeline do I want to be on? And recognizing in yourself that you can shift and change and you can decide, but also you can shift and change any part of your day to embody that next level version of you that you want to become. It's all about switching your timeline and figuring out, where do I want to be? What do I want to be doing? So let's actually fix the root of the problem. No more quick fix band-aids. No more willpowering it through. Waste of time. And it's hella frustrating because it doesn't work. How many times have you thought, I'll just try harder? Yeah. And that's why we're sitting here, because it doesn't work. So let's heal ourselves from the inside out, create action steps to start embodiment work, and actually reach our goals and actually ditch the food anxiety that's plaguing us, so that all the action steps that I mentioned in the very beginning, the food, the meal plans, the workouts, the treadmill that we've got, all of these healthy things that we've got and we've bought to enhance our life, that we're actually using them and they're actually giving us the results that we want. And we're not plagued all day long by the food anxiety that's just like one step forward, two steps back energy. We don't want that anymore. So I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Happy first live stream of 2026. I'm like so fired up right now. I could talk for like 17 more hours. So just know that. But anything you have question-wise or comments, leave it down in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. I plan on going live Fridays around 1 p.m. Once I know for sure, I will make a post as I think I can do that. As long as I can do that, I will, to let you guys know ahead of time. This one was kind of more spontaneous. This is the first one, but going forward, there will be a schedule with topics as well. So I can get your feedback and we can really make this community everything that you need and more to elevate you to not only your next level self, but your goal weight self, and just the best version of you that has ever lived in this lifetime. So I'll see you guys soon, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. All right. Bye, guys.